it's so option-y. Like they had so many cool options, and one of the things was to be able to disable, and that led to.
All right, little story time. So this is episode, 37? So I've been doing this for a little bit of a while. I've been putting these videos out and I share them on places like the Discord, on the Facebook, on the Reddit. And I get people that I know watching them. And then I get a couple of you guys that are watching this that I don't know and perhaps aren't even like heavily involved in Echo. You're just kind of like passively in paying attention. And one of that demographic of people, if that is you, reached out to me. I got a really nice message on Reddit saying, hey, really appreciate the videos you're putting out. I really appreciate the format and everything. Yeah, if you're interested, I have this to offer. And yeah, what this person was offering was their experience designing the arena. I jumped at the opportunity of having someone who like built this space that we've been living in for the past few years to come on the show and talk about it. It's quite brief because we were short on time and it's difficult with the different time zones, and like they reached out very close to the end, like within a week of the shutdown. So we really like rushed this. We tried to make what we could with it, and we also again broke the format a little bit with this one. We had the traditional sit down talk, but then I really quickly just wanted to move around the arena and just see how they reacted. So for context, this is a person that was involved very early on in actually like designing this space that we spent years in, but hasn't really been in it. They've just like gone off, they left the project, done whatever. An absolute veteran when it comes to like game development, but hasn't like been in this space that they built for years. So we're seeing them come in like a newborn baby, like, whoa, like that, but then kind of having like a recollection of when they were building it and working on it. So it's incredibly familiar to them, but also incredibly new at the same time. So you kind of see that happening from their eyes, from their, their robot impression in the space. But yeah, let's just get into it. This is, I haven't had many like proper like devs on the show. That might be a lie, actually. I've had a few, but this is someone that worked on Echo. They're in the space. We're going to see their experience. And yeah, a little bit of a format change, but I hope it works. This is tundracool. Let's get into it. Because obviously it's a huge privilege to have you in here. I know you say it's a team effort and you had a group of people in here, but you're the first person who's like a creator of this space, which has become it's got such a cult following now, this game, which at time of recording is closing down in 8 days.
Yeah, it's awesome to experience. And actually, I'm new to this, to playing with the public, so being able to kind of experience it for the first time is really cool, seeing everybody enjoy it.
When were you last in it? When were you last in the game?
Oh shit, we're probably recording. It's like we're in it. So I try to play like nightly. I try to play every night or so after work. See, like it's almost good for the socialization and the physical aspects, like the physical health and the psychological health. It's really nice to be able to just hop in at this point. Really breezed by, but I decided to pick up a quest. I decided, hey, the game's shutting down. I saw the announcement. I decided to go out and pick up a quest, and hopped in. And it's really cool being able to just, for the first time, and sadly, I really should have picked it up sooner, but hopping in, seeing everybody like have fun, seeing everybody enjoy the lobby, seeing everybody play the arena. Yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy how just good people are at socializing as well as playing like the competitive game. I love seeing the strategies of people saying, hey, this is called popcorn, things like that. Like it's so cool. It's awesome coming in and seeing how it's evolved basically.
So how did you take the news then of the game shutting down? Did you hear about it immediately, or was it only recently you've come back into to hear this?
I think I saw it not too long after it was posted, but kind of around the time it was posted.
Yeah, you're a veteran level designer. Are you a developer by trade, or are you like a 3D artist?
Yeah, developer, video game developer. So I'd started actually when I was 11 or 12. So really,
Yeah.
but on the indie side of things. So I was learning about
Right.
video game creation and things that I actually, yeah, when I was young, I'd make games in Excel sheets, like choose your own adventure
Wow.
kinds of things. And those are always fun. But yeah, when Half-Life came out in 98, that's when
Right.
I really used their SDK and got into the tools and the creation aspect of it.
Yes.
So got into the level editing and got to make everything. And of course, the mod community was absolutely enormous.
Was it Half-Life
Absolutely.
1 or 2? I thought I saw on your website, that CV website where you list your resume of things you worked. I think you said, was it Half-Life 2 you said? You modded like the single player campaign? Or was it the
Yeah,
first
so
one?
Half-Life 2 and even before then, Half-Life 1.
Right.
And those games are just so similar in the creation and the engine aspects of them. So
Right.
anything you learn from the first goes into the second. It was really cool.
And was that your first time? Well, you just brought it up. Was that like your first time of really picking up a game, taking it apart, and then like modifying it, sharing your own ideas into it, and like making something for other people to play? Or were you already at that point like a full-on developer?
So that is what brought me into it. Like, with the release of Half-Life, and actually even before, I think, with the their installment, how deep it's just been into the interwebs at that early point of its interwebsness.
Yeah.
Like the Quake community and Doom community and the modding community just in general had already existed. So when Half-Life launched and they had their mod tools, the community is almost like, similar to Half-Life 1 to 2, you just kind of migrate and grow and continue that momentum of the community going. And that was awesome. So while it was my first time hopping into the tools and such like that, and hopping into a community, just the community, it sweeps you up and it takes you. It's like you get so much experience, even from the earlier days of this stuff, because it's, like I mentioned, it's just that evolution, something. It's just, yeah, it's really cool. So there's a lot of history, even though you could just dip your toes into something and get your first personal experience with it too. You want to do fun tips and tricks for just 2 minutes?
Yeah, let's do it.
Tips and things. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Give me one sec. I'll put the follow cam on you, and then we're good. In fact, no, I'll put the follow cam on me because I'll be looking at you the whole time anyway. Yeah, we're good to go.
Sweet.
You lead the way.
Yeah, all right. So, I don't know. We're just going to fly over. We're going to see what's up. We're going to see if I can remember some fun facts. But the thing is I do not want to, dig any deeper than surface level, because I do respect the developers, the property, and everybody associated with it. So, much props to them. Those guys are awesome. And let's see if there's any just fun little things here. So I think in the editor we used to call these tetras. I did. Tetras, as in, tetrahedron. Just a primitive object and shape which you kind of build together to construct larger things.
Yep.
Yeah, not.
Did you just stop talking, or are you still talking?
Oh shit! I haven't been holding the button since I grabbed the disc. Fucking this whole time. I really gotta turn push to talk off if I'm grabbing this. But here, you take that. All right, so I'll hold push to talk. All right, so I don't know how much you caught of that, but
I did. You were calling them tetras, and you were talking about because of the idea that you start with basic forms and then add them together to build on it.
Okay, cool. That was literally something I didn't even recognize I did, is not pushing push to talk any longer. So, one of the cool things about these is, let's see, I called them puns when I was making them. And the purpose of them being here is that they're kind of like an anchor point. I'm not going to grab that for fear of not push to talking, but the cool thing about it is that if you're to anchor yourself here with a disc and throw it at that black spot on the blackboard here, it's very likely, if not always likely, to get this the shot from behind the goalie.
Yeah, correct.
So so that's a little fun fact not many people know of. Let's see. You know what? These actually, I'd called them bits. It's like the smallest representation of things that you can insert, in our little context of the game. They were the small representation of things, but in the original design, I wanted them to make a little music note when you grabbed it, so they'd have different tunes. But could you imagine how bad if that stuck in? Because if you remember people with the disc, banging that, just how annoying it could be to some people. Anyway, let's see. This was actually one of those fun little like just so the cool thing about the company Ready at Dawn is that like, man, they're so good on their tech. They are so awesome. It's so optiony. Like they had so many cool options, and one of the things was to be able to disable player collision but still like respect physics collision, and that led to this design of being able to kind of have this thing like that where allowed to kind of get to something quicker where a person holding the disc would have to work around it. So in travel time as well as shot placement. So that's just one of the little cool things which came thanks to their awesome kind of tools. So we actually, I think at one point even had a 1-point line, but the purpose of the 3-point line was to, and believe it or not, stop goalie stunning, because as much as goalie stunning can still kind of remain in the game, which this is part of the rules technically. It was you can imagine without the having players shoot from a further direction, how bad it would have been for players to kind of just from any as close as they'd like point. So it's been really helpful in that regard, pulling players out as well as giving that encouragement to make more points. And I guess that's all just from basketball,
it actually encourages more goalie stuns by doing that.
What's that?
It encourages goalie stuns by having the 3-pointer.
Oh, like from the perspective of setting up the shot for another player?
Yeah, so as a team, you would have the disc up there, you would back out to the tetra behind you, and then I would come on top of the goal, wait for your signal, stun out the goalie, and you've got an open shot.
Hell yeah. Like, I love that. Like, I think that's the point about goalie stunning still existing is like, but now there's that like added layer of communication, like expectancy, and just natural like players filling in positions and slots in their team, and just helping each other. That's the kind of like encouragement I think that really kind of set up. So yeah, love that stuff. Let's see. It was really bad though. It was really bad. So I think I mentioned this before, but sorry. When putting these around the arena, really just didn't quite associate them with any name or call sign or anything in particular. But at one point, they were large cylinders, and I think they might have been placeholders. I put them as placeholders, but I just wanted like occluders, like just big geo there. So they were cylinders at one point, and I do remember that on those cylinders, there were numbers. So there'd be like 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 on some of the other ones around here. So we did at one point have fun with trying to make these things associatable by number. But it's so freaking cool to have not and to have like it's all of these things I think, and what made this such a great game was that such good directions were given, and such good design I think was intuited. That's the word. The intuition came out, and we found like it just all kind of worked out in the end. So having players kind of without that readability and forced name on these objects come up with their own, and I've even seen some of them change over time, like websites being created to display that info to others. That's just it's been so awesome on the community building aspect of that. Fantastic stuff. I do have to run, but any kind of just little fun tips? Let's see. Oh, one of the last ones. So this is actually placed here. I think people call it nest, because I really wanted something to be close to the players as they flew out of this tunnel here. So as players are going on, you need that. When things are flying, it just feels so much faster. So I think that really helps with that, as well as similar to the bottom tubes. I placed a lot of those translucent bits there to kind of give players the ability to, for what they found it advantageous, to come out of the tube and then to grab some bits. Oh, did they remove them?
We can't grab them on this side because we're technically orange.
No,
so they're invisible to us.
There used to be some down here.
There's one like they are around the back. I think they're like down here, but we can't see them.
They were down here though. Like they must have removed them.
Do you know how to re-grab?
So, I know how to re-grab. Do you know who I am? I'm just kidding.
Let's go. Let's go to the other side. Missed you. Here you go.
Oh, there. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. So you see, that's one of the things that I think has been more of an update than I'm aware of. I actually came into the game just a few months, maybe 2-3 months ago at this point. So I hadn't been following a lot of the updates, but yeah, I mean, I would even argue that, I'd argue that there are more down here. There are more down here. So the tunnels down here, I on the design side, thought it was purposeful, or at least the community could find a way maybe to find purpose to them, but I put some cubes down here so they can immediately stop themselves after coming out of a launcher for whatever reason.
Oh, okay.
Want to shut up at the door. But that's cool. The cube's down here too. I gotta run, but yeah, I don't do media, so if anybody wants to contact me, give me a call or text me at 657-217-80. Yeah, I do have to run, but hey, Mitch, it's been awesome talking to you. And this, I do wanted to say, like, one of the points of this that I wanted to share was just how awesome and supportive, disregarding some of the earlier things I'd said, just which were the worst of VR, and I think society right now as a whole, how just official the community has been, the Echo VR community and the players. Shout out to people like White Sox. They're awesome. They've always been just very helpful and friendly. They're always, fun and to talk about, just whatever. So I couldn't be more thankful for this game. And it's coming, I think, very interestingly from somebody who had, helped build the way, like designing the lobby and designing the arena obstacles alongside every other artist and designer. And fantastic. But just how beneficial it's been to me to kind of have that given back, have the community kind of welcome you and take you in, not just, because you're some ex-developer, but not because they know, but because, you're just a player and have fun and you want to, hang out. So it's been extremely for days where, I still stay indoors and I still stay safe and really too much in terms of movement and anxiety and such right now, trust. But being able to hop on in a safe place with cool people has been extremely helpful for me, and I'm sure so. I think we're going to miss this game. I know I will. And I've tried the others, but shit, I might have to go back unless, of course, Echo VR can persist in some way. And, I'm watching the other guys like A2 and Hex and those aren't the same. So yeah, so I'm looking up and forwards to those things and, how they can help people and both, help and improve people in ways in terms of social interaction. So, yeah, no, this has just been a fantastic experience. I love this game. I love the community. Couldn't be more thankful.
Awesome. Thanks, Tundra. Thanks for coming on. And yeah, nice one. Great to have you.